Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Express show. I was trying to figure in my head, what's today? And I was saying, it's looking to me like a Monday because yesterday, the roads were really clear. But I'm saying to myself, you don't go to work on Sundays. So what's today? Okay, it's a Tuesday. No, 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 no. It can't be a Tuesday. You know how the days go so fast, how time flies so fast that you can't place your hands on it. You can't hold time down. It's a Wednesday morning, so soon. When did we start the week and where are we right now? Anyway, we want to give God thanksgiving because He has kept us. He's giving us the gift of life. He's giving us the gift of our voices. We as broadcasters, and He's done so much for every one of us. So thank God, it's a brand new day, and we're here, to serve you the best that we can. Okay, please join us for breakfast. It's the Breakfast Express show, and this is MITV Plus. I like to remind people that this is MITV with a plus. So, yeah, welcome to the show. It's always a delight to be here with Okwe. And I was telling Okwe, I said, who exactly is doing this job? Okay, he's trying his best, looking so youthful and everything because we know his age, but he's trying to compete with the Gen Zs. He's not a Gen Z, he's a millennial. And I don't understand what's going on. I had to ask him. I said, "Who's doing this job?" And he says he wants to stay young forever.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
let's see if that can happen. Good morning, Okwe.
Good morning, Tony. It's a transition that I want to be a part of. They said embrace it, soak in the moment. So we need to be a blend of both sides. So if the Gen Zs are popping up, we the millennials also have to find a way to blend in. It's a pleasure to be here. The midweek edition of the show, 143 days to the election. I've got some very interesting stories on the front pages of our newspapers to run you through today. And from now till 10:30, what a conversation we had yesterday with Mr. Gidi Ologun. He
Oh,
said we
that
should
was
not put
fantastic.
barrister in
Yes.
front. And I thank you all. And I'm sure we'll be able to have more and deeper engagement today. Of course, we'll pick your calls as expected. Good morning. My name is Okpeyemi. Okpeyemi Aken. It's a pleasure to have you join us today.
All right. Right now, we will take a break because it is necessary. And then when we return, we will be here all yours, yours for the taking. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's still the Breakfast Express show.
In Biggie's house, there's no place to hide. And even
You're welcome back, to the breakfast table. All right, we have very interesting headlines in the newspapers, just as Okwe rightly said. And I'll be starting the newspaper review segment, with the Punch newspaper, as I always do, for convenience, the above the nameplate, I was looking at the above the nameplate and I'm like, oh, okay. I'll start with this one. Tinubu orders reconstruction of Benin bypass and others. So in my mind, what I was saying was like, this is all that we have ever asked for. Good governance. All we haven't asked for too much, and I don't know why we have made, very little things become big deals. If you ask your father to give you a Rolls Royce, for example, and you know that your father owns an Okada, that's a request too large for your father to handle. And so if your father doesn't do it, then you understand why. Because he doesn't have the ability to. Not that he doesn't want to, But when you ask your father for a bicycle, because he has an Okada and he has extra money saved up somewhere, which he could use to buy a bicycle for you. I don't think that's out of place. So what we're saying is that with all the money that Nigeria has, let's forget about the borrowing, the money that we generate within our space, it's not too much to ask for good roads at the federal, state, and local government levels. So what is happening now is only what we've asked for. It's as simple as that. And I'm glad this is happening. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. President. And I want to play the devil's advocate at this point. Are some people going to be thinking that, okay, all of this is happening, bam, 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 so fast because, elections around the corner? Did we have to leave it till this time? Because I don't want to believe in my heart of hearts that that's why, the prompt response or the swift response is happening, because we looked at the Edo Road yesterday.
It was
It was
deplorable.
horrible. And day before yesterday, we had a caller, who complained bitterly. And then today, it's just like magic. I don't think this has happened in a long, long, long time. So, yeah, thank you, Mr. President. And I wish you could do more of this, irrespective of whether elections are coming, irrespective of whether elections have gone. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're governing the people and you're meeting their needs. Why do you need to campaign for a re-election if you're doing the things that the people want to do? Yeah, thank you so much, Odi. Thank you for this video clip, just on point. I'm glad that this is happening. I don't know what Okpe thinks about this, but I think it's a step in the right direction. For you, what is it?
Yeah, I saw the Minister of Work, Senator Dave Umahi, visited the scene day before yesterday. And maybe a lot of us didn't even know how crazy
bad
it was until we started seeing videos of people waking up in the morning to brush their teeth by the roadside. So people slept in that place. So, God forbid, imagine there was a pregnant woman there. Imagine there was a medical emergency there. Imagine there was robbery in that place at night. There's nowhere. You're stuck. You can't go anywhere. And I also, let me also, support you, even though I feel it is their responsibility. But if they don't do it, we just shout, and we'll go and sleep. But now they're responding. The president had instructed that the road should be fixed as quick as possible. And there was also on the spot assessment yesterday by the Minister of Work. So I'm sure that the road to be fixed, even if it's just on a quick fix, then at the long run they will do, because according to what we had, that the project had been awarded, but they've not just gotten to where they should be. But boy, oh boy, I wonder how they allowed that road to get that bad. In Nigeria, it always starts from a very tiny pothole, and then it starts expanding. Then it becomes a ditch. From there, it starts expanding. Then cars start avoiding that place. They start passing one side of the road. Before you know what's happening, the entire road becomes impassable. Because I'm very sure that road did not become that bad overnight. They were seeing it, they were managing it, and because that place is like a connecting point, there are a lot of trucks, especially Dangote trucks, all those big trucks that uses that place, all those luxury overnight vehicles, buses that travel from Lagos to the east, from Lagos to the north. So it's a very busy axis that connects the north down to the south here. So I'm happy that the federal government has responded immediately. That's what we say. We'll escalate these issues on this platform, on different platforms, on social media. And if you have when people say it's because of election, is it after election they will fold the road? Will the road stop being used, or will the road stop to be in place after election? If there's a reason, Yoruba say about Tori Ekpo Jeshu, Tori Ishu Jepo, that means that if there's a reason why you've done it, whether it is political or not. The most important thing is that you fixed it. There will be ease of access on that road. People will not have to sleep on that road for days. Do you understand? So I don't care whether they politicize the fixing of that road. We always have a way of doing things in this country, and it's okay. But the most important thing is that the sufferings of Nigerians on that axis would end anytime soon. And that's what I'm excited about, too. That's what I'm excited about.
Okay, well, I'm excited about the fact that the sufferings will be eased, but I still think that it is important to note that these things, this kind of things, for subsequent governments, these kind of things should not, be read as if, because the political dispensation is heating up,
That's why we're
that's
doing
why we're
this.
doing it. It's important to note, we can't, yes, I know that, once it's done, and people will continue to benefit from these things. But the truth is, you don't want to give people that impression that you're a government that really doesn't care for them, but because you care so much for yourself and you need to use them, you need their votes. That's why you're going to, be at their beck and call. Hitherto, what was the position? What was the situation? I'm telling you that there are people who would think like this, and it is not good, because guess what? When people start to feel like they're being used, I don't like to feel like I'm being used. When I get to a point when I feel I'm being used, I kind of just, I build a shell around myself, and I may not let the other person know that I know that I'm being used, but I'm not going to be that accessible anymore. So it's just human nature not to want to be used. So I think it is important that, subsequent governments, whether it's going to be this government next or a new government next, whatever it is important that the will of the people should be upheld as much as possible, especially when it is not for trivial things. These are things that are of great need. And the truth is that if the president refuses to to get the roads fixed, it's not going to affect the people alone. It's going to affect the economy.
Even them, if the campaign have started,
Of course.
they will also sleep on
Of
the road.
course,
Now.
it's going to
It will
affect
them.
everybody. That's the truth. And truth must be told on the breakfast table here on MITV Plus. That's all we can do. That's our contribution, to our nation, Nigeria. So we're not going to, sweep it under the carpet. What needs to be done? We didn't say what the wants, people's wants, must be obliged. No, that's not what we're saying. What needs to be done should be done. Okay, so again, once more, kudos to our president, and thank you for, your contribution and your giving the go ahead, giving the nod, for that road to be fixed. Okay, still on the Point newspaper. Governors spend 512 billion naira on travel and offices. So this is what I'm saying when I say that it's not asking for the extraordinary. To say, please give us good roads, take care of our security, ensure that we have good education, ensure that we have, primary health care, the basic health care, good health care in the teaching hospitals and all of that. It's not asking for too much. But look, the governors are spending 512 billion naira
On travel.
On travel. Now, question, how much of the travel has benefited the people of the states? It's a huge question. When you're spending these monies, now, who owns the money really? Is it the government or the people? Even if you say it is the government, how did the government make money? They made money off the people. So it's the people's hard-earned sweat. Okay, I don't know why I'm talking so much this morning when you're sitting beside me.
No,
Okay, in your opinion, what is it?
It's a clear reality, and if we are saying that people should endure, if the government is telling us to endure these reforms and endure the temporary pain, and if you are leaders, you're supposed to lead from the front. If I'm my father too, and you tell me that times are tough as a child, I should endure, I should drink Gary morning, I should drink Gary in the afternoon, in the night, I should just go pray and sleep. And then I open your room and I see you eating chicken and drinking wine. I'll look at you like you don't care about me. So if you're a governor and you're telling us to endure the hardship that your reforms are bringing, and I look over my shoulder, and I see the lifestyle you're living as a governor, as a senator. You're having houses everywhere. You're investing outside of the country. Your children are graduating from Ivy League universities in the world. You're splashing them on the pages of the newspapers. You are literally telling me that there's a disconnect between the government and the governed. Do you understand? So if you are telling me to tighten my belt, you are supposed to lead from the front. If you are telling me to endure, and I'm seeing that in your convoy, there are 40 vehicles in your convoy. I'm seeing that in your daughter's wedding, everything is lavish, and I'm seeing that. How do I combine it? How do I bring all of these things together? If the government, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying that reduce your entourage when you are traveling, the extra costs that you would get would also be reduced. But look at what we have: 500 billion to travel
Add
as
the 12, oh,
governors.
add the 12, because 12 billion is a whole lot
It's a
of,
whole
is a
lot of
whooping
money to
sum. Yeah.
512 billion on the travels of government. That is luxury. Do you understand? 500 billion would give us at least one world-class hospital in all the 36 states of this country. Fact. Fact. Don't. But look at where we are as a people. So if you are telling me to tighten my belt, and probably because you don't wear belts, you wear babariga, so your own trouser is elastic band. You
Oh,
can,
cool.
or rope, so it does not have limit. So I'm suffering. I'm buying petrol as a crazy, ridiculous price. I can barely afford to buy a tuber of yam. I can barely afford to buy a bulb of onion, a pack of tomatoes to cook. But I'm looking at you and I'm like, where did you go with 512 billion? Did you go to heaven to collect date of rapture? What are you looking for?
I
So
don't
it's a clear disconnect between the government and the government.
govern.
It's almost like they live in a different bubble. They wake up in the morning, they know that our children is secure. In this country, did the governor not allegedly pay the school fees of a child that is less than a year old up to university level? A child that you don't even know, maybe tomorrow morning, motor will jam you will just go like that. You already paid for in one of the poorest states in this country. You don't even know, maybe the child will have a bright future. You already paid from primary school up until university level from the state funds.
What
Do
if
you
the child?
understand?
What if the child said he doesn't want to go to
What
school?
if the
He
guy says he
wants to
doesn't
end
want to
up
go?
being a
He
musician or
wants to be
something.
thank you. I want to be a tattoo artist. But you have already paid from now to the university. From one of the poorest states in this country, a state where if it rains, it is chaos in Kogi State. So if you are saying that we should tighten our belt, 4 years down the line, you are not tightening your own belt now. You are using 22 billion to build house for vice president. You are buying yachts everywhere. You are buying Escalade. You are changing your vehicles. Governors are collecting retirement benefits, even when they are still serving as ministers, even when they are still in the Senate. How do we put all of these things together at home? How do I convince the world around that the people that are coming to borrow money from you, they're not using that money to develop also. They're using that money to fund their lavish lifestyle. 10 billion is what you need to contest as the president of this country. Do you know what 10 billion is? It's a whole lot of money. 10 billion, 3 billion to be a governor. So if I use 10 billion to contest for president, don't you think I'm that passionate? There will be a return on
Of
investment. If
course.
I invested 10 billion in that election, you should know that when I get there, I must recoup that 10
First
billion
of
and
all,
also make profits.
first of
If I
all,
use 3 billion as a governor to contest for office, I probably collected that money from loan, from banks. I've sold the property. I've sold my wife's school, sold my wife's car, sold my family land. When I get there as governor,
you buy
I will
new ones
recoup those
now.
things now.
Exactly. I mean,
I will change that
it goes without
lifestyle.
saying. Of course.
Do you understand? So you can't blame the people when they continue to ask that. What are you using my monies for?
And you see,
512 billion to
I don't, I don't,
call.
oh, it's a whole, it's a
It's a
whole lot.
lot of money.
And look, the thing is that we have praised some governors. At least I know that there are two governors in Nigeria that we say have done something. You know, there's no perfect human being. I'm not perfect. Nobody
Of
is
course.
perfect. But you see, when we see good things, we say them. And I know that we've often and again, praised the Lagos State governor because we see certain things that he's doing. He is sometimes very swift to responding, to the masses, and then the Abia State governor as well. But irrespective, the truth is that too much money, 512 billion naira, is
It's
a
plenty.
whooping sum of money.
Plenty.
It's the kind of money that can make one's heart collapse. Like, seriously. And honestly, as much as we are hyping this amount, it's really nothing to certain
Of course.
individuals. So what we're saying is that, okay, it's okay if you're giving us these figures, because we ask for the figures. We ask for an update. We ask for accountability, transparency, and everything. But you see, you've accounted to us, in summary. It's just a summary. we would have liked a breakdown as to how these monies were spent so that we can see if in any way these monies benefited, the masses, the people of the various states, who are supposed to have felt the impact. Honestly, if this money was shared amongst the states, for the masses, we would have seen one or two things like Okwe said, build a world-class hospital in every state. Is that too much for
It's
any
not.
governor to do? No. Was it not Lagos State governor that did the Tolu schools? I mean, hello, is somebody listening? It really, really could get on one's nerves when you keep saying, people doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
My father says only fools that does that.
Yeah, and then you say the people are condemning government, the people are talking ill about government. No, that's not what they're doing. The people are asking, where have you spent our money and how?
And where did
We
you go
worked
to
for this money. You
500
slaved
billion?
us. Multiple taxation here and there. You're taxing us while we're buying things. You're still collecting tax from us. You're collecting this tax, value added, and so on and so forth. And yet, we are the ones that are suffering. We're paying you guys, and you are just living lavishly, like Okwe would say, and you're just enjoying yourselves. So what we're asking for is an upgrade. Just upgrade us, so that we're not saying we want to be on the same level as you. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying upgrade us. Let our living standard of living, let it be, something to be proud of, something that you can talk about, that you can speak about. Do you understand? That's all we're asking for. Okwe talked about buying a tuber of yam. Some people can't even afford yam. Yam is luxury.
Yam is not a luxury.
Gari that used to be really affordable is no longer affordable.
Don't even talk
that
about
used to
beans
sell,
now.
according to what I hear, the corn used to sell for like 50 naira, 100 naira. Now corn is selling for about 500 naira. I don't know if that
As you
is
don't even
information.
mention beans now.
I mean, come on. We can't keep doing this. Let's take the first call. Hello? Hello? Okay, we lost that call. So it's really alarming, and we really hope that, in the next dispensation, because right now, okay, what is likely to happen? You see this allocation that has been released by the federal government to the states. For those governors who are not returning, I cannot vouch. Even for those who are returning, I can't really vouch that this money is not just going to be spent and embezzled anyhow. Although I hear that the Lagos State governor has called for, certain things to be done, but all those things, as we go along, they'll be brought to the fore. But some of it will go the way we don't expect it to go in various states, and I just think the timing was
The
wrong.
way we don't expect it to go.
Yes,
And
now. Yes, now, because the timing was totally wrong. Was extremely wrong. The timing was so wrong. Anyway, let's move on. Dolly Parton, U.S. lowest flag. She
Are
died.
you just getting that? She died yesterday at the age of 80.
She died.
Yes, she did.
Oh no.
She did.
Yeah. Well, U.S. should actually lower their flag.
Yeah, of course.
U.S. should actually lower their flag. Oh, what killed her?
Old age. She's 80. She died at the age of 80.
Hello, old age is not. 80 is not old age.
From a country where our own ear, where life expectancy rate is 56.
So let me tell you why I
80 is
said,
old.
let me tell you why I said 80 is not old. Because I want to ask you a question, a simple question, and I want a truly honest answer. Okay, what is the age? At what age is it good to lose a loved one?
No age.
No age. Because when my mom died at 81, but she would have been 82 a month after. So, and everybody kept saying, Mama ti dagba. I'm like,
To you, Mama can never dagba.
I don't understand. What are you talking about? My mom just died. And you're telling me she was old. What do you mean?
Dagba.
Do you understand? So, really and truly, I mean, if we could see people living to 100 and something in the biblical days, that's the kind of thing I really would expect. But even at that, because I love Dolly Parton so much, that honestly, almost every night, I watch her video, along with Kenny Rogers, that duo was, was a perfect
it was a
match.
solid blend.
And I actually always used to think that they were having something, between each other, but they were
I think
not.
they redefine country music
Yes.
so much that even younger generation were beginning to key into it. I
Yeah.
think Coat of Many Colors,
Colors.
that was one of our biggest songs,
Yes,
multiple
yes.
Grammy Award winner, obviously a national hero
Wow.
for the United States to decide to lower flag to celebrate her. And
It is really worth it.
I mean,
Dolly Parton has mouth. Like, have
she
you
has
seen her? She
level.
has mouth. She can yap.
During Barack Obama's campaign,
Whoa.
she played a very major role in Obama's campaign. She was committed to the mobilization, and she's quite funny. Just
Yeah,
like you
that's what I
said,
said.
she has
She's
subtle
witty.
jokes.
She
Exactly.
has a great sense of humor. She could just say anything, and oh my gee, oh, I really pray that her soul will rest in perfect peace. But oh my, it's a huge loss. And I thank the United States of America for actually celebrating her, and realizing the value of the woman Dolly Parton. Okay, Trump moves to revoke barely 200,000 asylum seekers visas. So why do you want to revoke these visas?
I mean,
You see, I don't have anything against President Donald Trump, but in my opinion, they say that no man is an island. And what that means is that you cannot do everything on your own. So you need people who can do it better. And the truth is that in no country can we ever find, we can't say that we will exist on our own without people coming in, from various countries with their expertise to bring to bear, to put on the table, to work along with, indigents of that country. It is important that, that if people are seeking asylum, one needs to, in my opinion, I don't think there should be an outright refusal, or I don't think visas should be revoked, but rather what I'll do is look at the genuineness
of those requests,
of the reasons why
they're applying for their
they're
asylum.
applying for their asylum, and if they need your help, reach out to them and say, you know what, we can. I understand the fact that you're protecting your country. You're supposed to be protecting the citizens of the country. You don't want people to come and take the jobs, and all of that. But again, a quick reminder that no one is an island, and that's the truth. So any which way, I know that at some point we will get to that realization that we need
Donald
each
Trump
other.
is just in a world of his own. He wakes up today and then he wants to change
He's
the
a very
immigration
impulsive
policy.
person.
He has empowered eyes. People are being picked up. I saw the video of a man and his son going to watch a football match, and then they just picked them up and on their way out of the United States already. So, but again, the countries reserve the rights to how they run their immigration policies. Whether you're coming in as a visa lottery winner, or you're coming in as a visitor, or you're coming in as an asylum seeker, on whatever grounds your asylum is. I mean, they have the right to review your request, and if it does not go according to, if it does not meet up their standard, they have the right to refuse you and tell you, you know what, go back to your country. We can't take you in here. So I think that is that is the policy. There was something during the last World Cup. The number one ranked referee on the continent of Africa is a Somalian, and he was scheduled to officiate at the World Cup. He was allowed to come into Canada, but because the United States already has a visa restriction on anybody coming in from Somalia, they didn't allow him to come in. They did not allow him to come in because, excuse me, and the United States insisted that anyone that is coming in from Somalia, excuse me, will not be allowed to come into the country. And the referee said, listen, I'm not going to be in Canada and then allow myself to be restricted to officiating in Canada alone when my other referees are in the United States. So he went back, and that's exactly what he did. He went back. He was he ejected himself from the World Cup, and he went back home. And right from the airport, he was received like a hero. He was, and you know what UEFA did next? The UEFA Super Cup between Aston Villa, the winner of the Europa League, and the PSG, winner of the Champions League, he became the first non-European to officiate that game. Do you understand? So there would always be policies. In the United States, things like countries like Sudan, countries like Somalia, countries like Djibouti, countries like Mauritania, Congo, these countries, they don't want their citizens in their country. They have the right to. It's my house. I choose which visitor I take into my house on whatever grounds that you're using to apply for your asylum. Oh, there's civil war in my country, and then we are being killed, we are being attacked. Oh, I'm a journalist, I'm being attacked. Oh, I'm seeking asylum on the ground of LGBTQ. In my country is illegal. I'm an endangered species. Those are the grounds upon which people seek asylum these days. But I mean, you are literally telling me that welcome me into your home. If I say no, there's nothing you want to do about it. Oh, there's nothing you want to do about it.
And I agree with you completely. And that's why I'm saying, this is, I clearly said it, and I'm very careful when I speak. I'd rather hesitate and think it through before I deliver. So I said very clearly that in my opinion, I mean, if I was in that position, this is how I would handle it. And yes, everybody already knows President Donald Trump, is a very impulsive person. And you ask me, is it a good thing? What is good is relative. Is it a bad thing? What is bad is relative. So everybody has people who believe in their ideologies, who will support anything that they do, who can see, who are looking, at whatever it is from the same lens that person is looking at it from. So I'm not going to sit here to condemn anybody, but, the truth is, I really wish we could be a little more accommodating
and liberal.
Yeah,
and because that's what the United States is known for. They say it's God's own country, lands of endless opportunity.
Exactly.
You know what I told someone a couple of years back? I said, US is a Nigeria that is working. Nigeria is the most accommodating country on the continent of Africa.
And there couldn't be any other country.
One of the most accommodating countries in the world. Have you seen the way we treat foreigners?
Huh.
Have you seen the way we worship people?
And not even that, okay? We do not, give back to them.
How they're treating us.
Exactly. That's a strange thing.
We always play the big brother role. We welcome everyone. And that's exactly what the United States used to be. The foundation of the US was made by people of colors, immigrants. Barack Obama cannot detach his roots from Kenya, and he became the president of the US. 8 years he was there. Do you understand? So I keep telling people that United States is just a Nigeria that is working. In terms of policies, in terms of how accommodating we're supposed to. Do you know how many people are in this country that don't have valid documents? How many foreigners are living in this country?
And who cares?
Nobody cares.
Oh, no, but if we cared, and if we had a database, and if we were trying to track these people, kidnapping wouldn't be on the increase or the rise.
True. I mean, you see some of these foreigners manning illegal mining sites. All of these are Asians, and then you see a ranking police officer carrying an umbrella and following one Asian that is serving prison term in Nigeria that we don't even know their history. So the way we worship foreigners here, the way we try to say you're welcome. Do you understand? If you look at what I've always told people that 30 December, it goes beyond the clubbing and the chilling. It's the fact that people are looking forward to coming to Nigeria at a certain time of the year to have fun.
And the economy is actually boosted because the amount of foreign exchange that is brought into Nigeria is unprecedented year in, year out, and it's on the increase every year.
The former governor of Lagos, Raj Fashola, said something. He said, in December 2020, maybe 2024, 2025, that 6% of Lagos economy and IGR, 6%, maybe Lagos or even Nigeria or something, was generated through Dirty December. People came in from Italy, from the United States, from South Africa, there was even internal migration. People came from Abuja, from Port Harcourt, just to experience what Lagos used to be in December. Despite all of the negative news you get, you had a lot of friends that popped in. even Airbnb service rentals
But,
that was maybe 60,
but that's why rent has
70,000
gone up in Nigeria.
in a day.
Yeah,
That
because
period is 500,000. In fact, they always fully booked.
yeah.
If you go to the hotel, you see people coming in because we try to create that space for ourselves. That's exactly what America used to be. But Donald Trump is just coming in and he says he wants to make America great and America first. And that's a beautiful policy. Your people's welfare should be prioritized. And if there are people of any origin, any country that have put your country at risk, whether as terrorists or whether people that are badly behaved, you have the right to tell them that, listen, I'm not going to take anyone from your country to come into my country.
Yeah, so that's what we're saying. We're saying that we wish the Nigerian government could reciprocate in the sense or in terms that, Nigerians would come first in every single decision that they make. It's really important. And then that way, Nigerians would not want to be seeking, asylum or going to, hello, good morning, going to other countries for any reason. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my dear sister.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I greet Oga in the studio too.
You're
My
welcome,
name is
sir.
Chebe, the preacher man.
Ah, it's been a while. What's been going on?
Thank you very much. Kotiwala, Moa. God is good. Well done, my sister. You're trying.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
I want to quickly chip in to what we are discussing now. We need a president that will say Nigeria first. We need such president, just like what Trump is doing. Though some people hate him, but me, I support Trump 100%. Nigeria first. We need that kind of president, not what is going on here. Look at what they are doing to us in South Africa. But look at our president, our people here are not even they are not saying any serious thing against it. If we did not make any comment, there's nothing they will do. They are fighting for their country. They want to retain their jobs, but we need to do that in Nigeria. I support Trump. So I'm still with you. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you so much. One of our very regular callers. He took a break, kind of. And it's a delight to hear from him this morning. Exactly what I was saying before he came online, that we need to be looking inwards and treating Nigerians with so much respect and not with disregard and disdain, because that's what we see happen on a very regular basis in Nigeria. And, Nigerians will need to be treated as underdogs or second-class citizens in other countries because they won't find a need, to want to leave Nigeria. I was talking to one of my nephews yesterday, Bolu, and I said, but he's studying petroleum engineering at one of the private universities, one of the very top ones. And I said to him, so when you're done, what do you want to do? Do you want to jackpot again like everybody else? He said no. He said no, he doesn't have plans to jackpot at all, that he wants to stay here in Nigeria, that he believes that, that Nigeria has, a lot of opportunities for him, that he'd rather stay in Nigeria and work for, foreign companies where he can be making, his pay packets in dollars or in, foreign currency, but he rather use here as a base. And for me, I think that's real good thinking, and I wish we could have a lot more of our youth thinking in that direction. But actually, you cannot force them, because I remember I said this on table many times, how my daughter would say that when she left medical school, that Nigeria needs her.
So the stuff you shared with me.
You saw what I shared.
That's some massive clearance. I was seeing 30 over 30. I'm seeing 29 over 30. That's some bullying.
That's my daughter.
That's some bullying.
Yeah, that's actually Rome Business School. That's where and she did very well. So, when I talk on this table, everything I say, is the truth and nothing but the truth. Because I had said to you that I was going to show you her results, that's why I sent it to you. I remembered very late, but I did. I kept to my promise. Okay, still on the Punch newspaper. The big one is 19 oil block licenses to expire this year. We spoke about that yesterday. No, to expire. Okay, so when these oil block licenses expire, what next? But let me take the riders to that story. 12 PPLs, 7 OPLs affected as tenure dates are near. NUPRC moles extensions for some expiring oil concessions. Expiry schedule cuts across offshore, onshore oil licenses. Well, that's what we have here. You want to do some analysis?
Yes, that's why some of those licenses will be replaced. Remember, we're talking about the government doing open bidding for, and I think there were about 140 companies that took part in that bidding for 37 oil blocks. So I think the ones that we have now, a lot of them did not renew their license. So those ones would expire, and then some of those oil blocks have already been reissued. That's why they are telling those ones that if you have gotten license to replace these people, you need to come and pay, your startup credits. And then that's why they are saying that we have it till October 29. If you don't pay, we'll probably have to reopen the bidding process and maybe allow the people that came second or that couldn't get the license at first time of asking to eventually come in and pick it. So it's like a renewal process. And we say, well, I'm not continuing, I don't want to be involved again, then you've been reissued actually.
But you don't forget that yesterday in the news, we already had, some people who had already bidded and won, they still haven't, paid and, taken ownership. So what next?
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, too, they would have to do the proper thing. You went to bid now. What were you expecting? You that you went to apply to buy something. Do you understand? There was an auction. Okay, cars are being auctioned, and then you decide to join the auction, and then you decide to bid for a product, and then they told you that, oh, the bidding is locked. You are the highest bidder, and then you say you don't have money. Why did you go in for the bid in the first place? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that's because a lot of these things are politicized. When we were issuing licenses to Gencos and Discos, we were saying at that time that don't politicize this process. Don't give these licenses to your cronies. Do you understand? Because there will be consequences for some of these things. These people got licenses. The commitment to reinvest into the power sector was not kept. So companies are generating. We have the capacity to shoot into 11,000 megawatts, but we don't have the capacity to receive whatever it is that we shoot. So when we mistakenly fire up to maybe 3,700, 3,800, or 4,000 megawatts, the national grid will collapse. Because the people you gave licenses to, they didn't keep to their commitment of reinvesting and bringing in more equipment, changing some of the equipment that are already old. As net, there are power lines in this country that have been running for as far back as 1970 something, and we're still using them. So if people are bidded for oil, what's it called now? If you don't have money, drop your license. Let us give it to people that want to get into the business. But because some of these biddings, even if you don't see the face of Esau, you will see the hand of Jacob. Some of these companies that came to bid are owned by the politicians. And there's a law against it. As a public office holder, you're not supposed to participate in processes like that. So they will go and set their cronies, fund their cronies, use their influence to win those bids. At the end of the day, they will not keep to their commitment of doing all of those things. So if the federal government says that this license will give you for these oil rigs, if you don't meet up with your payment, we will withdraw it.
I think it's the best thing to do. Finally, the final story that we can take from the Punch newspaper, the other ones are not very clear, is Idel Malud, Tinubu, governors, and can they preach peace and tolerance. Well, that's what we expect during most of these religious festive seasons and celebrations, peace and tolerance, and all of that, which would be preached. But how much of it we hear, it's a script. It's one of those scripts, that are already written. And when they just change, for the occasion, they just change it. So the question is, how much of that, do our leaders, show the people? How much of it do the people actually uphold? It's a huge question. The onus lies on us to ensure that we're more tolerant and we're more peaceful people. But the truth is, Nigerians are sitting on a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode. When people have not eaten, I mean, it's often said that a hungry man is an angry man. Yes, some people want peace and they want to tolerate other people, but they just don't have the ability to, because their system is telling them that something is wrong. They're becoming impatient. They cannot tolerate, because, things are not just going well for them. It's something, well, I won't say growing up, in my adulthood, I realized that, when things are not just working the way you want them to work, your system is not at peace. You're not finding that peace. So how can you give peace, to people? And the reality of it is that, you see, if government ensures, that people get their piece of the action, meaning that, their needs are met, I'm sure there will be relative peace in Nigeria.
Nigerians, that's the funny thing about Nigerians, Stone.
Yeah.
We never asked for too much.
Yeah.
We've not told you to build a castle for us. We've not told you to sponsor tourism for us to go into the moon. We've not told you to give us luxury cars. We just want the basic.
The simple
and the
things.
moment you have a country this so blessed, Stone, and things that are supposed to be our basic right is being celebrated as a luxury. I was talking to Mr. Jidolog after the show yesterday that in a country now where you buy a brand new car, they see you like a big man. Do you understand? But it's supposed to be a basic thing. Do you understand?
Yep.
If you own gen now in your estate beyond a certain time, or you own gen too much, they begin to look at you as one big man. Do you understand? Even when you go and buy food, and then you order that, give me turkey and plantain, people will look at you like, hello, are we still in the same Tinubu era? And these are supposed to be the basic things, So Nigerians don't ask for too much. I've gone into villages to coordinate research in this country where people will tell you that we don't want anything from government. You people should just give us lights. Some people don't need more than that. They'll provide their security for themselves. Just power their business. Don't worry about anything else. We're not like Americans where every single day people are protesting for animal rights. People are protesting for this one. What's the concern? What's our business with that? We just want to feed well. Do you understand? We don't want to ration what we are eating. We don't want to be doing 001 or 101 or 100. No. We want to let's put food in our mouth. Let me not spend 70% of my salary on transportation. That's what we're asking for.
I agree with you. The basic things of life, that's all. The needs, the wants are endless, but the needs are limited. And when Nigerians are asking for the government to meet their needs, I don't think they're asking for too much. Okay, I think that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper. Looking at the time, I think we should take a quick break now.
Break.
And
When
then
we come back, I will go into Vanguard.
Okay. All right. So please stay tuned. We'll take a break right now. You're welcome back to the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. We took a quick break after we reviewed the Punch newspaper. So it's still our newspaper review segment, and Okwe is, ready with the Vanguard newspaper. Okwe?
Yes, big stories are coming from the Vanguard news paper for this morning. Okay, let's touch this real quick. Dolly Parton, U.S. country music legend, dies at 80. That's on page 7 of the Vanguard News. So I'm sure a lot of people, even people that probably don't even know who she was, have been sharing the pictures everywhere. 2027, why coalition fails to pick a single presidential candidate? That is coming from the vice presidential candidate of the ADC and former governor and speaker of Rivers State. That's Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi. Is explaining why coalition failed to pick single presidential candidates. So you get more of that story on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. Crude imports by domestic refineries jumped to 151.5% in July. That is coming from the NMDPRA. Zenith Bank rallies trade leaders to drive value addition in non-oil exports. So that's some economic discussion right there. If you want more of that, page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper is blowing up that story. And so there is the banner headline, Highways of Horror. Motorists will spend 4 days on Benin Asaba Road. Recount or deal, that's the rider. Federal government to review a concession roads and apologizes to Nigerians. You want more of that story? Page 5.
Can you take that again?
Yes. Highways of Horror. A motorist will spend 4 days on the Benin Asaba Road. Recount or deal. Federal government to review the concession roads and also apologizes to Nigerians. The Minister of Works attended an apology to Nigerians yesterday, and even the presidency statement as well. So the Benin Agbo Asaba Road gridlock. So there are pictures, and you see how deep our vehicles were. Unfortunately, how do you spend 4 days on?
My question is, I'm sorry, but I don't I don't know if I was in there for 4 days, if I would accept the apology from the Minister of Works. First of all, you sleep in comfort, you live in comfort, you do everything comfortable. You're apologizing to me because I've been there for 4 days on a road that didn't just get bad, on a road that had, been dilapidated, it was a gradual thing, on a road that had been brought to your attention, as a Minister of Works. People have told us, how they go through real hardship, on these roads, how the potholes, how the kidnappers, how the armed robbers, how all the horrible things happen to them on these roads. And it's a long, long story. It's not from today. One of the things that Mr. President promised us, was to ensure that Nigerians are comfortable. When you took over as Minister of Works, you knew about this road. What is this apology about? What's this strange apology about?
I mean, the road did not even get that bad overnight.
That's what you didn't hear my statement.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I said. You're repeating what I said, that this thing had been happening.
Yes.
It's been happening for over a long period of time.
For you,
exactly.
It's a major,
and then
major
people
road.
have slept on the road. First of all, instead of me to thank the Minister of Works, I'd rather thank the armed robbers and the kidnappers
that didn't strike in that period.
These are the people I'd like to thank for being considerate, not to have, maimed people, killed people, and kidnapped people on the roads that the Minister of Works knew was obviously very bad over a period of time, until he got there to see it for himself. Hello? What kind of leadership is that? And then when I've spent 4 days. So what if in the 4 days, I was ill, and my condition had deteriorated? What's the apology for? But you sit there, insult journalists unnecessarily when they challenge you, challenge your incompetencies. At some point, you don't want to be challenged. But the truth is, this didn't happen overnight.
We know.
Let's take this call. Okay, so it's stuck. All right. Hello? Hello? Okay, okay, let's go on.
Let's go on. Still on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. 2027 presidency. ACF, PANDEV, MBF demand scrutiny of candidate history. ACF, PANDEV, MBF demand scrutiny of candidate history.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sister. I call you again. Chelo the preacher.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I want to quickly contribute to what you are saying.
Okay, quickly.
The votes in particular. Yes, I saw how you felt it when you were saying, what if you are sick and you need to go through that route? Now, my problem is this: they are making this road from Lagos to Calabar that we don't know about. Why don't you take the ones we have already? If the money they have spent on making this road from Lagos, and from what I'm hearing, that the road is even substandard, why didn't you pour the money into making the roads in the country, the roads that we are used to already? If those roads have been fixed, we will not be having this problem. So why our government that has to misplace priority? That's exactly what is going on. And I don't know whether they are just making opportunity for some people to be eating money. But I want to tell you, Sita, the coalition, they are not ready.
The first person to call my name on this program.
Sorry.
Yes,
No, it's fine,
yeah,
it's
it's good,
fine.
it's good, it's good.
Okay. The coalition, they are not ready to take this power from this man. I'm telling you, unless if God, I repeat it, unless if God removes Tinubu, the coalition, they are not ready to remove it. They are just, they are like a tattered house. And I'm around of Dolly Parton. What will I say? Sorry, Dolly Parton, this woman is a woman I grew up listening to. Her song about humility. Listen to that quote of many comments again. See what this woman did in that place. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very
There's nothing to add and nothing to subtract. I mean, he's made his point, and I hope people are listening.
Well, let's still flash through the pages of Vanguard newspaper so that we get done with that real quick. The pace at which the time moves during this show is very interesting. ACF, PANDEF, MBF demand scrutiny of candidate history with the rider. Background checks raise moral issues, but law remains supreme. That is coming from Afenifere. Yeah.
Afenifere.
Yes, that's coming from Afenifere. So I think that's the much we have on the Vanguard newspaper. Yes.
Okay, I'd like to
Let's
look
check the Nation.
at the Nation newspaper, but I'm having a few challenges with the iPad. Okay. Egberi Pari. Egberi Papa.
Egberi Papa.
Egberi Papa. Petitions Tinubu on Niger Delta region. PAP. To win drug war, barons must lose their wealth, says Marwa. Well, sir, you are the one in charge. You
as
are
you
the
like.
one speaking. You just do
Touch everything.
what you need to do. We need a thorough cleansing when it comes to this drug war that we're trying to fight. We want to win it, sir. Nigerians want to win it. Even the people who abuse the drugs, they just don't have the inner strength, the inner will to stop. So we need you, to help Nigerians, to help our children all over Nigeria, who have become drug addicts. They want to stop these things. It's not befitting, for them and of them, but they don't have the will to resist and say, I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop. And they stop. So, sir, you have the magic wand in your hand. Wave it any way you will, I'm in total support, because our youths are dying on a daily basis. So I think that if if you can get hold of the barons, first of all, bring them to a level of, irrelevance,
And take everything
take
away from them.
everything that
Everything away
they
from
have
them.
acquired from the wealth they amassed from selling drugs or trafficking drugs. Yeah, I think it's a good thing, and it will help our youths, we just see them sometimes they're just stuck in one spot. They don't even know what they're doing, they don't know where they are, they don't know they can't recognize anybody. It's so embarrassing when you see these young ones on the streets, on the railway tracks, on drugs everywhere. The other day I went to Lagos Island. I was going, what was I going to buy? I went into the neck of Idumota. And, I was coming out. I can tell you for nothing that I smoked Igbo. Because
You're a
I
passive,
was,
passive smoker.
I was
Or maybe you are even actively passive.
any way you want to
Actively
describe it.
passive.
By the time I left that area,
You were feeling it.
I was feeling
You were feeling it.
dazed. I said, what manner of thing is this? When I got to my car, I was telling my driver, I said, just get me water. I just need
drink
to
water.
flush it out of my system. It's so embarrassing. And you need to have seen the people that were there. They were having a meeting or a party. And every single one of them, there were so many. There's no way I wouldn't have inhaled a huge, huge, huge quantity of it. It's so sad and very depressing because these children are our children, So yeah, win that war anyway. We're in full support. Palliative work begins in Ado. What's this? Ado Kaba. Ado Kaba. Near Saba Road. So it's a palliative work. It's just a palliative work. At least up until the time that we can do proper construction, and resurfacing.
Exactly. Let's just fix it.
At least let it be fixed.
Of movement.
Yeah. Okay. So IG, Nigeria's security crisis, now interconnected networks. Well, it's a puzzle for you to unravel.
That's
Inspector General of Police, just as we said to General Buba Marwa. Fire on. It's your job. Do it the best you can.
That you think
Inspector General of Police.
Is it now?
Go ahead. Confusion rocks Atiku's fuel subsidy return campaign. And I don't understand why we're making a big deal out of this thing, because this is just somebody's opinion. He's saying, that if he returns, he's going to bring back
subsidy.
If he wins, yes, he will return subsidy. I mean, somebody has spoken just as we are speaking. You know how many times we speak to governors, we speak to the president, we speak to members of House of Representatives, to the senators, and all of that, and nobody does anything. Hello? Because as far as they're concerned, they only just spoke. Even though what we're saying is valid, what we're doing is bringing to them what the people want. They're not doing anything. A man spoke and said what he wants to do. Why is it a problem? Because in the last couple of days, people have really made a big deal out of Atiku's statement.
And he actually still said it day night that he's reiterating his commitment and he's not going back on it, that he will remove subsidy when it comes back, or if he wins the election. And I remember in 2021, 2022, I built up the 2023 election. So I kept asking people, is it that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now the scapegoat on the issue of subsidy removal? Because all of the presidential candidates said they were going to remove subsidy, from Peter Obi to Rabi Musa Kwankwaso to Atiku Abubakar to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They all said they were going to remove subsidy.
Yeah.
Now that Tinubu has removed it, we're seeing the consequence of the removal of subsidy. All of them are now saying, oh, we're going to return. And funny enough, there's also been, I think, I'm looking forward to the campaign period this time around too. I'm looking forward to the fact that we can have issue-based campaigns. Do you understand? Yeah. Because Peter Obi reacted to Atiku's call for return of subsidy. Omo had also given, in fact, there are like 6 different opinions on this removal of subsidy or the return of subsidy. The presidency is saying that it's a decision, there's no going back. Atiku said it's going to return it. Peter Obi said it should not be returned, but it should be properly managed for accountability. Omo is saying that who are you subsidizing exactly, the rich people or the poor people? So even the NGOs like Serap and all of them are saying, before you even talk of returning subsidy or removing it, give an account of all of the monies that you have saved from subsidy. How have you spent? So there's been a lot of angle to the issue of this subsidy removal or return, and that was because an opposition member, an opposition leader initiated the conversation. So if you're going to have issue-based conversation like this going into the election, let's have it.
Okay, it's
Let's
okay.
have it.
It's okay, to differ in opinions in the first place, But what I'm wondering about is why we're making the big deal, dragging over the number of days. Yeah, it's okay to have different opinions. If the man who had said at one point in time that if he won, the elections, that he was going to remove subsidy, is now saying a totally different thing. It's a 360-degree turn.
And he has his right to change his mind.
Yes, you want to
At
wonder.
least they have not won the election.
Exactly. You want to wonder, why is he saying this? Are there certain things that he has seen? He has seen that it is not working, or what? But in my opinion, if this subsidy money is rather channeled to the states and the local governments, I think it's a good thing.
It's a good
if
thing.
we will benefit, only if we will benefit from it. I remember when Christ said that he doesn't give his bread to the dogs. And the woman who was asking said, that they eat from the crumbs that fall from the table anyway. So it's as good as eating, from the bread. So it's for me, it's the same thing. Right now, as long as it trickles down, that's the thing. As long as life gets better for the people of Nigeria, when are our leaders going to put us into consideration? When? That's the question. When? It's like hoping against hope and nothing is happening. The light keeps getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. We don't want that flicker to go out completely. Okay? So, all right, still on the Nation newspaper. I'm taking the big one now. Confusion rocks Atik. Okay, that's the one I took. But I didn't take the rider. I like to take the rider for that story. It's not very clear though. Is it clear for you?
That's the Nation newspaper.
No,
Yes.
Yes, the Nation. The rider for the story. It's not clear.
Not so clear.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Let's take this call.
Yes.
We lost it.
Okay, I think I have a clearer version of the Nation, and that rider is.
Please take the rider.
Yeah, it's quite clear now.
And just take the Nation up to the end
Said
of it.
ex-vice president changes position 3 times in 1 week. Media aides make a contradictory statement. Media aide also makes a contradictory statement. Well, APC asks police to arrest Hunye as U.S. flag to fly half-mast for Dolly Parton.
Okay, so let's take this caller's contribution. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
My name is Abel.
Abel. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm from Lagos.
Oh, from Lagos. Okay, you want to make a contribution quickly, very quickly? Yes, go ahead.
The contribution I want to make is about the subsidy removal.
Okay.
I think where the APC got it wrong is that they didn't plan to cushion the effect when
Of
they
the
removed
removal.
subsidy. Certain things were not put in place before they removed subsidy. That's why we are talking. So, secondly, for people to say when he gets things, he will leave the subsidy. It might be correct because the way they are managing subsidy now, so only God knows what will happen. We cannot see the money being taken from the subsidy as a state. It's not getting to the grassroots. That is the problem. It's like you want to close Lagos Ibadan Road, for example. You don't put a place of honesty where motors can move. There's a problem. That's what happened to subsidy. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much for this very brief and apt contribution, and that's the truth. Nothing, no more, no less. That's exactly the truth. I mean, if you don't plan ahead of time, to make alternatives, you get stuck
Exactly.
somehow, and that's
Exactly.
what's happening in this case. So, can you just take the rest of the Nation newspaper?
Okay. Let's just close it up real quick. Still on the Nation newspaper. Okay. NFIU, public funds, farms, firms used for money laundering. Public funds, farms, firms are being used for money laundering. That is the Nigeria Financial Intelligence Units. Tinubu urges prayers against insecurity as Muslims mark Eid Maulud. Khan urges peaceful coexistence amongst Nigerians. Rescue abducted victims in Niger. President orders security agencies. And there was a mass adoption in Niger just a
Yeah,
few days
yeah.
ago. And then the president is charging the security agencies to rescue them. I think about a month ago, there was a young man. I also read that he's been picked up now by the DSS that was on national TV, to give and he said, oh, it looks like the bandits are on recess, that are on break for 40 days, that within that period, abduction will reduce, this and this and this and this, and kidnappings will reduce. And that's what we saw. And then the numbers are back now. It looks like the 40 days window period is over. And then they're back. Mass adoption in Niger State, abduction in Borno, abduction in Benue also reported in the papers. So the presidency is, and you remember, we're still talking about 198 days just on Monday. Is about 100 days today now that those children, about 40 of them, were abducted in Borno.
In
The
Borno.
same time the Orire abduction in Oyo State happened. Do you understand? So now we have another mass adoption again in Niger State. And the presidency is saying that make sure you rescue all these people. Why is there a mandate for the ones in Niger to be rescued, but there's no mandate for
For
the
the
ones
ones
in
in
Borno
Borno to
to
be
be
rescued.
rescued?
Nice
100
question.
days.
Nice
Almost
observation.
200 days, rather.
Very good observation. Very good.
Why is there a mandate for Niger State? Go after the abductors in Niger, rescue everybody. But the one in Borno, it looks like it's now become Ishewani, Ashawani. We're used to it. So people are kept in perpetual pain and suffering in kidnappers den for almost 200 days. What exactly is going on? Is there something that we should know that we don't know? Because I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Why?
Well, I really can't answer that question, but I wish it could be done, differently. I wish that the president could realize the fact that he's the father of Nigeria and Nigerians. So there should be no favoritism, if you ask me.
Everybody should be treated
Everybody should be
equally.
treated equally, and that's one of the things that we stood against when they were doing their band A, band B, band C. Hello, why do some people deserve to have power supply, more than others when we all are Nigerians? All this favoritism, you're favoring one child, you're not favoring the other. A good parent shouldn't do that. And so we're asking our president to take a look, while looking, while your eyes are on
Election.
no, on this the recent kidnappings. um we just, the corner of your eyes, can you just take a look at Borno and not neglect them
So that we
completely?
don't focus only on Niger. We
Because
should also look
Niger
at
State,
Borno
we
State.
should also look at Borno State. And I think that it's important that every Nigerian
Should be
benefits
treated
benefits
equally.
from your
Nobody should be
leadership,
more
sir.
Nigerian than the other.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, so this is our prayer. This is our wish. The president still has a couple of months, before he eventually says goodbye to this
That's if he
administration.
doesn't win a second
What
time.
I said to this current administration, and it would be nice if these are some of the things that he would add to his list of achievements to say, at
During my
the same
tenure.
time, we rescued Niger victims and Borno victims. Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know what the governor of Borno State is doing. Is he playing? Is he serious? Is he interested? Is he not interested? Nobody knows. And right now, nobody cares. But I keep saying to the people in the north, whatever state it is, you need to drive this thing and then people will follow you. So if you're coming out to protest and say, we don't like what our governor is doing, he's turning a blind eye to our children that have been kidnapped and so on and so forth. We're not going to go to schools anymore. In fact, they don't really, it's not their their culture anyway. We're not going to do certain things. There's a peaceful protest.
We're not going to allow you campaign in this state
if you don't rescue
our children.
Correct.
And it's even unfortunate, though. I'm sorry to hold your thoughts.
Yeah.
That the former governor of that state,
yes, is
a one-time senator, is the
the
serving vice president
right now.
So if we are criticizing Governor Mufwang for not being able to take care of his own local government in Mongu, that 27 people were slaughtered unprovoked overnight, then we should also ask the vice president some questions. A state you once governed, where you represented a senatorial zone, and the same state that gave you a ticket to be vice president, an adoption has happened almost 200 days.
And you can't even, you're not even pretending that you heard.
There are 365 days in a year.
So how do you want other people to be serious about it?
If you cannot keep your own people safe.
So that's the problem.
The presidency is mute about it. It's almost like there's a conspiracy somewhere that, leave them in Borno. That's how they are. They'll sort themselves out. Why is there an instruction for the people of Niger State to be rescued? Why is the abduction in Niger State, why is it escalated? Why is the presidency ordering the security agencies to move into Niger State and make sure they rescue everybody? Why was there focus on Orire? Why did he literally shut down every other military operation in Nigeria just to rescue the people in Orire?
Because the governor of your state.
In Borno, nothing happened. Professor Babagana Zulumi also not seen anything.
But okay, that's my point. The people in Oyo State did not agree. They said, "Listen, we're not going to schools anymore. No school is going to open."
If
the governor also
curfew,
yes, he declared the curfew.
The local government
he came out that all the other neighboring states,
also supported.
stood in solidarity with them.
But
you see, you have to take. Yes, that's the point. They're lackadaisical about it. Nothing they happen now. Nothing they happen. No shaking, It's only X number of people. So how do you want people to stand up for them? How do you want something to be done when there's no pressure? You know that in Nigeria, you must put pressure.
Yes,
if there's no pressure, nothing is going to happen. Until we accept these facts that you must put pressure, nothing is going to happen. It's unfortunate. Even though, like I said, there's no governance, very little governance now. It's all politics. And you want the vice president to be focusing on people that have been kidnapped in Borno. When those people have relatives, the relatives are not coming out to say, you know what, we're going to walk naked to the governor's office. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. So, I mean, it's not a good thing. It's an unfortunate thing. And we're calling on the appropriate authorities, with or without being told, what to do. So why don't you do it?
It makes me uncomfortable, Tom.
It's not nice.
Very uncomfortable. When we see things...
The people of Borno State, I don't know what they're doing. They have the power to impeach. They have the power to put in office. And they also have the power to remove from office. But if they don't understand these things...
I feel so uncomfortable when we see how we major on the minor and then we reduce the major into nothing. Tell me how an electionary campaign is more important than the life of your citizens that are currently being put in jeopardy. If you campaign and you win an election too, and there's nobody to govern, there's nobody to preside over, what is your gain?
Exactly.
What is your gain?
Hello? Oh, we lost the call.
Do you understand? What is your gain as a president if your people are getting killed every day? On one of the newspapers, I'm seeing Amnesty International saying over 2,000 people have been killed in the last 3 years. Do you understand? By criminals. Do you understand? Like we always say, we seem to escalate when the numbers are big. Oh, 27 people killed. Oh, 41 people killed. Oh, about 19 people killed. But almost on daily basis, in ones and in twos. People are getting killed. Human lives means almost nothing to certain people in this country. Do you understand?
Look at the United States of America. For one person, they are lowering their flag because one person is enough.
This person was not killed, though. She died of old age, 80 years old. Do you understand? And 27 people were killed unprovoked overnight.
Murdered in cold blood.
And we just moved on.
Like nothing happened, though. Like nothing happened, though. Hello, good morning. Oh, certainly you are. This is the Breakfast Express show, MITV Plus. Please. What's your name, sir? Your name is Rotimi? Yes. Oh, where are you calling from, Mr. Rotimi? I'm calling from where?
Ogun State.
Ogun State. Okay.
Please try and be audible so that we can hear
yeah,
you.
You need to talk louder so we can hear. Okay. Well, you want to make your contribution? Just go ahead. Well, we lost him. We lost Mr. Rotimi. Yeah. So please try and call back. We'll be all ears. Okay. So that's my take. Okay. As much as I love the people of Borno State, I'm urging them to take the lead.
Their problem.
Exactly.
Escalate it. Speak out.
Exactly.
I think we're done with the nation.
Okay. You want to do your favorite?
Yes. Let's see Nigerian Tribune.
Okay.
Okay. Nigerian Tribune is reporting Ibadan-Ijebu-Ode Road. Ibadan-Ijebu-Ode Road reconstruction flag off. APM slams federal government for not inviting Makinde. That is on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune.
But honestly, it's not a laughing matter.
I mean, it claims Tinubu is scared of Oyo governor's popularity and performance. So there was a flag up of that major road, and then the governor of Oyo State was not invited.
That's so wrong.
The spokesperson had come out to say that, listen, if you invited the governor of Ogun State, why are you not inviting the governor of Oyo State? It is Ibadan and Ijebu. It's a road that is linking two states. If you invited the governor of one state because he's a member of your party, and you are not inviting me, so the handlers of the outgoing governor of Oyo State have said that the president is scared of the popularity of Seyi Makinde and his performance.
It's even wrong. Protocol demands. I mean, look, you have to. You see. My point is, you don't bring petty things into governance, it actually stinks when politics starts to evolve. All this pettiness where protocol should be key and play priority, where there are processes and procedures that must be obeyed. You now decide not to because you decide. It's not about you. And that's the point. We have personalized governance. We have personalized it to
yes. What's you can imagine whether governor is not in your party or not.
Exactly.
You're commissioning a project in my state.
Or whether you're offended, with certain things he said. That shouldn't be anybody's business. Look at what happened when the president came to Lagos, when they were supposed to be commissioning roads and buildings and structures and schools and everything.
They closed the road. The president did not come out.
We can't keep doing that because, people are just going to get fed up of what manner of childishness is this? This is not a thing of the home where brother and sister are quarreling. No, Nigerians every state has a governor. You want to do something in that state, you must invite the governor. In fact, you must have given the governor notice that the federal government is coming to the state government. The state government will be ready to receive, delegates from the federal government for whatever purpose.
The funny thing is that
I don't get it.
It's not even a commissioning.
It's a flag off.
Flagging of the reconstruction. So it's a process where the supervision will still be under the domain of both governors. Even if it's a federal government project, it's still within my state. So I will still pay attention to the level of progress in that particular project.
And anyway, can't we even see who's more productive in terms of the two governors we speak about?
Yes, now.
Exactly. So what's the point?
Let's put it on the table.
what is it? I don't know any of them. I don't know Makinde, and I don't know Dakwa Biodun. But why are we making the one who has not? That's what you said. We bring to nothing, the one that shouldn't be brought to nothing, and the
And
one
then
that
the ones that were supposed to focus on,
exactly
we
we
trivialize it.
trivialize it, and that's exactly the case in this instance, because we're looking. Let's put both on a scale and see which states have benefited more in terms of governance from these people.
Well, another unfortunate news on page 13 of Nigerian Tribune. 43 feared killed, several abducted as terrorists lay siege on 5 Niger communities. With the writer, Tinubu condemns killings and mass abduction, orders immediate rescue, says terrors wound cow Nigeria. Let me take that story again. 43 feared killed, several abducted as terrorists lay siege to 5 Niger communities. Tinubu condemns killings, mass abduction, order immediate rescue, says terror wounds cow Nigeria. 43 though, and I'm sure that number is being managed.
May not be the
I'm
exact.
sure that number is being managed. So when I read the report of the attack day first day into yesterday.
Is that on the Nigerian Tribune?
Yes, it's on Nigerian Tribune. At the top right corner with the picture of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, right there, are supporting that story. Okay, maybe your own newspaper did not capture it. We've always talked about the fact that maybe the president is reading another newspaper.
Okay, I see it.
Of course. The headline, the banner headline, 2027, Atiku to boycott debate unless Tinubu joins. That is coming from the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. Atiku to boycott debate unless Tinubu joins. That is on the page 22 of Nigerian Tribune, with the writer challenges presidency to debate on petrol subsidy removal. I'm sure that they will send the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Idili, to engage in that conversation. But what I think about debate is this: every country in the world practice debates during the election. Is a simple way of holding your leaders to account. I've seen a president in this country that they asked him that, Mr. President, you promised to bring $1 to $1. He said I was not the one that said it. There's the members of my campaign team that said it. But when you have a debate, Stone, I've been privileged. Again, it's a privilege. I've been privileged to cover governorship debates in this country, too. I remember the election of late Rotimi Akeredolu of blessed memory, now the former governor of Ondo State. That was one of the most robust and engaging public debates I've ever, covered or witnessed in my few days of being on this job. I mean, there were numbers that were flying everywhere. There were numbers that were put on the table. Do you understand? Debates give you the opportunity to ask questions. Even though sometimes you feel those questions they're already tailored, or that they just gave it to selected people to ask. But there's a means of an engagement. You're not coming to read a speech where you say, fellow Nigerians, thank you, and then there's the national anthem, and nobody's asking you questions. I still had that conversation this week, that should we institutionalize debates in this country? Should we make it mandatory that you must participate in an organized open debate? In the history of this Fourth Republic, we've had 5 presidents. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the 5th president that we're having since 1999. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. 3 of them are still alive, 2 are dead. Unfortunately, the 2 are the non-Southern president we've had since 1999. And both of them are from the same state of Katsina. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. Obasanjo never participated in a debate. He won his election. The late man Musa barely even participated in his own campaign, not talk of doing debates, because he was sick.
He was ill.
Do you understand? And then he won the election. Good Lord Jonathan did not do debates. He won the election. Buhari, which debate do you want? Who do you want to
You want
engage
to
in a
stress
debate?
the
Why
man.
you want to stress the poor man that just wants to come and relax and fulfill his ambition of being an head of state and a
President.
civilian president? Nobody's even asking him question. Do you understand? Then Tinubu did also engage in debate. Now Tinubu is saying that let us have a robust conversation. If people are asking for issue-based conversation, don't send your ministers to come and engage me in a debate. No. Don't send the DG of agencies to come and engage me in a debate. You are the president. Come, let us reason together the way the Bible said it. Maybe you are the incumbent. You have advantage over me. You can bring up numbers and figures. Put it on the table. Let me engage you.
Let
me know that
let's throw it
exactly.
and start
let's put it on the table.
Yeah.
Let Nigerians know that
Yeah.
if you said you have saved 43 trillion or 47 trillion, what have you used it for? If you are telling me that the minimum wage swallowed a larger chunk of what you have saved from subsidy, how many Nigerians are benefiting from minimum wage? I'm not a civil servant. I don't benefit from the minimum wage. So if you are telling me that I'm suffering and buying expensive petrol, right? But that the proceed of what is making me suffer, I'm not benefiting from it. The government don't give me electricity. I'm literally my own local government chairman. I provide my security. I registered in a private clinic too. I provide my own source of
Power
electricity
supply.
and power supply. We contribute money to buy transformer.
We do our roads. We do
our road
water.
ourselves.
Everything.
You're not giving me anything. So if you say that minimum wage consumed a larger chunk of the subsidy whatever you save from subsidy, how am I benefiting from minimum
Exactly.
wage?
That's the bottom line.
How?
That's
I'm a
just the
Nigerian.
bottom
It's
line.
a commonwealth.
Really. It's a commonwealth that has been made
It has
uncommon.
never been common. Our commonwealth is
It
a
has been
private
made
pocket of
uncommon.
people.
Exactly, because we don't see what we're doing.
Somebody
with
said
the
we have
commonwealth.
uncommon wealth.
Exactly, but that's exactly what it is. It's on Commonwealth, common for few, a clique, and uncommon for
Privileged few.
for the populace, for the masses, for the people who should be, who actually, generated the wealth. They made the wealth. They made the amount
You
of
are
money.
taxing me, Tom. And I think we had that conversation.
And it's not
here.
just in one place.
Multiple aggressive taxing. Do you understand?
There's no difference. This is slave driving, more or less. More or less, because that's what it is.
It's not even more or less. It is exactly what it is.
Because we are the ones making the money. You are the ones spending it. The Yoruba say Oyinbo moti otinpa cook. Hello? Oh, we lost. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, please try to call again. So I don't understand. Look, we're not asking for too much. We're saying you are making money from us. Let's see where you want to channel these monies to and how we'll benefit from it. Simple.
Period.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? We lost the call.
Okay. If you can, would appreciate if you can call back. Let's quickly wrap it up on Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria ranks 56th among world's poorest country by GDP. That is coming from Global Finance magazine. Nigeria ranks 56th among world's poorest countries by GDP. That is the Global Finance magazine. Check page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria's petrol consumption declined by 25% to 35.7 million barrels per day in July 2026. Nigeria's petrol consumption declined by 25% to 35.7 million barrels per day in July 2026. That is coming from NMDPRA. On health, dirty air may trigger rheumatoid arthritis flare-ups. That is coming from a study. Check that out on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune. Federal government begins repairs as minister visits Oye Ekiti Lupeju Kaba Road. Federal government begins repair as minister visits Oye Ekiti Ilupeju Kaba Road. With the rider, Benin Asaba Expressway, motorists resort to forest routes. Umai blames concessionaire. Anyway, we have a way of shifting blames and moving responsibilities in this country. Benin Asaba Expressway, motorists resort to forest routes. Umai blames a concessionaire. To be defeated, drug barons must lose their rewards. Marwa declares at Cambridge. To be defeated, drug barons must lose their rewards. Marwa declares at Cambridge. NFIU received over 28 million reports on transactions involving politically exposed persons in 2025. NFIU received over 28 million reports on transactions involving politically exposed persons in 2025. I'm sure they will get double of that in 2026 because the election is here.
Of course.
We're done?
You're done. Okay.
With the Nigerian Tribune.
Let me look at the Daily Trust. 2027, Knox as Federal Capital Territory Council Chair threatens residents to vote APC. Has it come to that?
Very shameful. I saw the video, and then one of the spokesperson of the chairman had, tried to come out to kind of like downplay what the chairman was saying.
Damage control.
And I saw the video. I watched the video. I'm trying to, pick a portion of that post because I shared it on one of my socials. And I just keep asking myself, the man is saying that in this local government, do you understand? If you don't vote APC in this local government,
what will happen?
We'll throw you out of the local government.
You see, I think I just, while you're looking for it, let me just quickly say, without any apologies now.
I got that. Let me hold your thought.
Okay.
Honorable Danjuma Samuel Eshekolo is the executive chairman of Kuje Area Council in Abuja. And then so one of his spokesperson, Musa Samson Adailo, that's the chief press secretary to the executive chairman of Kuje Area Council, had come out to clarify what the chairman said. And you know what? He was even gaslighting people. Instead of you to apologize, you were trying to justify what your chairman said, and you're gaslighting them. Let me pick a paragraph that actually made me to comment on that. He says, "We therefore appeal to residents and stakeholders and supporters of different political parties to avoid interpreting the chairman's remark in a manner that could create unnecessary division." Gaslighting. Level of gaslighting.
Has the chairman himself not already started to create division? Now, let me tell you something. First of all, that statement is so irresponsible, and I don't even need to know who this chairman is because already I have adjudged him irresponsible. And I never knew it had gotten to that level. How do you say that if they don't vote, you will throw them out of the place? You are the one, in actual fact, who needs to be bundled out of that place, because you don't, first of all, deserve to be the local government chairman of anywhere, not even of your living room. You don't deserve it because you don't even understand what leadership means.
Let me hold
you
your
don't
thoughts.
have the qualities of a good leader.
Let me quote what he said. He says, "It's either you are doing APC or you leave the area council. I am not arguing with you." And he says that the reason he made that claim is because President Tinubu and Minister Wike are executing development projects in Kuje, he will not allow residents to vote against the party on election day. That's all.
So when we talk about freedom of expression,
and Amnesty International had even come out to condemn it. So the council is releasing a statement saying,
no, but what's the statement? What's in the statement?
That's what they said now, that we should not. It's just a statement that the governor said.
Okay.
The chairman said in a discussion.
Amnesty International doesn't even. We don't need to wait for them to come and condemn this thing, because already any right-thinking person will condemn it. And if I were the people in that local government, I will ensure that I do not vote for the party that this man is trying to compel
Let heaven now fall.
Let heaven fall. Let him come and throw us out.
Throw us out of the local government.
If I were the one, I would challenge him. You know what? Come and throw us out, and let's see who will be thrown out first.
And Wike will keep his legs crossed now and look at that kind of distasteful statement from a local government.
And I think, in my opinion, I think that the people who should actually come out and make statements and condemn You know,
He has councillors. They can throw him out. The councillors can impeach him.
I'm even saying that
Even the
I
APC
expect the
themselves should be
APC should
making a
come out
statement
and
on things like this.
exactly.
The same thing we
That's where I
said
was going.
about Senator Fada Osin Osun, that the APC was logical enough. If they have right-thinking people that are advising them, they should have immediately released a statement to condemn what that senator said. Now,
Precisely.
the chairman of the same political party had also come out to say that if you don't vote for the party that is giving us development, we will send you out of this council. I'm not arguing with you that because the president is doing project. Is the president doing the project from his personal pocket? Is Minister Wike doing the project from his personal pocket? Is it not your commonwealth? Is it not what you earn as a citizen? So you are telling people that they should sacrifice their freedom of association, right? Freedom to political alignment on the altar of the fact that one governor, one president is developing your local government. You are saying that you will chase people out of the local
The man
government.
is a
That
shame. It's a
audacity,
disgrace. He's
the
honestly a
audacity,
disgrace.
don't.
I really wish he was in my local government and making this statement. Honestly,
Ha!
he'll be flung out like, you know what? You know Jiga, what they call Jiga.
Jigani, Oma Yobi Jiga.
Exactly, like the Yorubas will say. They will remove him and throw him away like Jiga. What kind of nonsense is that? You know? Atiku doubles down on restoring fuel subsidy. We have a caller. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Samuel calling from
We can't hear you very well. Your name is what?
Samuel calling from
Samuel from Ikorodu. Yes, we can hear you now. So please be audible. Yes, make your contribution, sir.
concerning the chairman of the government that we're threatening the people. See, I can say this categorically that those are the rules of APC. Yeah? You can see your second just made mention of what happened in Russian State, this election they just did. That is their foundation. So we shouldn't look at this thing as if that is their own way of doing things. They threatening people. Remember Odomo of the things that the election of governorship election. Same thing. So there's nothing they can do, but we need to just like tell our opinion and all these things need to be stopped. You understand? So anyway, that's it is.
Thank you very much for your contribution. He's saying it is a way of life, for
They're used to it.
that they're used to it. But even though it is,
Should we normalize
we cannot
abnormalities?
afford to normalize it. We must condemn, vehemently, like we have done. It is wrong and it is wrong. And honestly, like I said, I have absolutely no apologies. If I was in that man's local government living there, I will ensure that he's bundled out. We will all come together. I will start the protest. I will come together and bundle him out of there. Who does he think he is to be speaking to fellow Nigerians like that? Even the president will not speak to Nigerians in a derogatory manner like that. So he has absolutely no right. Okay, so residents demand justice as Mary Habila was buried. I'd like you to talk about that.
Well, it's quite
Quite
unfortunate.
unfortunate, yeah.
And the parents of I don't want to call her victim because her death has not been criminalized. I think they just said whatever it was. But it's quite impossible to pursue a case like this, especially when
And
the
the parents
parents
say,
say, don't
"Leave
do
it."
autopsy on our child. We want to bury our child. We've accepted that God gives and he takes, and then we moved on. Ambitions have been cut short. Whatever goals you want to achieve in life have been cut short. But it does not take away the discrepancies in some of the statements that have been made. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, said that, she was on the phone with her boyfriend a day before. What is your business with that? Our flatmate, the person she's sharing building with, but not roommate, also came out to say that she was indoors after she came from the salon. And it was when she didn't come out that she had to go and knock her door and saw that she was. Why is there blood in her mouth?
Hello?
Why are there so many discrepancies?
Hello? Okay, okay. Well, we're not taking any more calls because we're about to round up, but I want us to discuss this story in depth and then we'll round up. So, yeah, go on.
So now that the people are demanding for justice, but the family of Mary said they moved on. Whatever happens, well, I'm not insinuating anything, Tom. I'm not insinuating anything. But whatever must have gone down behind closed doors that have made the family say, you know what, we don't want case. In fact, the family said they don't want them to conduct autopsy. Now, well, let the dead bury the dead. Is our dead? Let us go and bury her. And they've done that. And it just basically tells you where we are as a society. Yes, we understand the norms, you have the right to do whatever you want to do, but that could have been a chance for us to understand what really, really happened. A physiotherapist died, and the circumstances of her death is questionable. But the family says we don't want to do anything. And what would the people say?
Okay, well, okay, I wanted to hear your analysis. I usually like to hear you talk about issues and then maybe just cap it up. First of all, I'm going to be taking it from the angle of how come she's just been buried. When at first there was, the urgency of burying Mary Habila.
Why?
They wanted to really quickly, very quickly bury her. Mary Habila has been dead for how many weeks and months, and she's just being buried. So what went down? The things that are in between that we may not know now. Guess what? It's only a matter of time. It will start to unfold and we will know everything. Because when the parents, they said all they wanted to do was to bury her and put pay to it and move on, and find closure. You're finding closure how many months after? Mary Habila is just being buried. We made so much noise about Mary Habila. Today, Mary Habila makes the newspapers, but one newspaper. All of a sudden, she's fizzled out. The Minister of Works, is giving us all sorts of statements. And we're moving on with life.
The way that case was even handled,
I think that case was not handled well. And I think there's so much more that journalists need to know, need to uncover, need to find out about Mary Habila's case. It's unfortunate that we lost yet another Nigerian citizen in very, questionable circumstances, for want of a better word to describe it. It's really, really questionable. There's so much that has gone down. But guess what? The parents of Mary Habila, God gave you this child, to take care of her, to be accountable for her. And your accountability is such that you have confused Nigerians who were really ready to stand up and get to the bottom of Mary Habila's death. For whatever reason you have decided to do so, you have been the custodian of Mary Habila, and you will answer to the life of Mary Habila. And that's the way I'd like to round it up. We as parents have a responsibility to be accountable to and for our children, for a long time. Where we have failed, we will answer. We will yet answer at the appropriate and the appointed time. And that's the truth. On that note, I'd like for us to round up today's edition of the Breakfast Express Show. There's really so much we can say about Mary Habila's case, but it really hurts me deeply. I remember at a point, the Inspector General of Police was saying that it was a case for the state to handle. And then we realized it was no longer a case for the state to handle. We had to obey, the wishes of the family of Mary Habila. Unfortunately, but I really wish Mary Habila was coming from a more distinguished, principled, and disciplined family who would stand on her behalf, irrespective of whose ox is God.
Let us know what killed our daughter.
Exactly. We'll get to the bottom of it, no matter what it takes.
God forbid bad thing. If she had died in her boyfriend's house, I'm sure that the boy will have been in prison by now.
Of course. What are you
Saying
talking
that
about?
they're investigating.
What
And
are
I'm
you
sure
talking about?
the parent will want to punish the boy.
She won't
Because
even be buried now.
yes, they will assume that he killed their daughter.
And they will do the
They will do
autopsy.
the autopsy. They will do the autopsy.
There's so much we don't know.
So even if the result eventually comes out to say, oh, she died of a natural cause or this and that, that boy will have been profiled.
Of course.
They will have paraded him as a murder suspect, because that's what we do in this country. You catch a suspect that are not even started investigating, then you parade them
him
everywhere. At the end of the day, the court will now find them not guilty. But you've already messed them up. You've exposed them to ridicule. You've exposed them to court of social media. You've exposed them to judgment. People will start labeling them as murderers because you already paraded them even while they are still suspects. If Mary had died in her boyfriend's house,
would have been
I'm
a
sure
different
that
case.
the family will not say they want to bury her. I'm sure the family will be hell-bent on sending the boy to jail.
But I would like to, looking at the bright side of it, I'd like for the boyfriend, and his family to go to wherever and do Thanksgiving.
But
because what?
Something come on my head. Ikuya lórí mi.
Well, on that note, we'd like to round up today's edition of the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. Thank you so much for watching. Nigerians will continue to ask what happened to Mary Habila. And if we keep on, let's be patient, let's be persistent, and let us continue to persevere until we get the answers. The 3 P's never fail me in anything that I do. I'm always patient, I persevere, and I am persistent until I get to the bottom of it. So Nigerians will keep asking questions. What happened to Mary Habila? One day, on the pages of the newspaper, Okwe and I will read to you, Nigerians, what happened to Mary Habila. But for those who think that, it is a done deal, no one can ever find out, time will tell. Time will judge. Okay?
Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow for Thursday edition of the show. I will continue to tell you that the journey to fixing this country does not rest on the shoulders of the political class alone. We all have roles to play. 143 days from today, you will choose who preside over you, make laws on your behalf at the National Assembly. You've got to learn and be ready to make the right choices. My name is Okpeyemi Akende. We'll be back tomorrow to share you more good news. Have a beautiful Wednesday. Bye for now.
Okay, so Okwemi forgot to put the bright and early part that he normally puts, so I'll use that this morning. All right, thank you so much for watching the program. My name is Tom Aderele, and I usually ask for you to go and stand in front of a mirror, take a good look at yourself. What is it that is going wrong in you, about you, with you? I think that it's time for you to pause, and correct it so that the world will be a better place. Your impact, will not be insignificant, your positive impact on people. Thank you so much for watching the program. We'll be back again, God willing, bright and early tomorrow on the Breakfast Express show. For now, we're leaving, we're signing out, but we not without asking you, to have yourselves a wonderful day, and let's do it again tomorrow. God bless you.